What up, everybody? Before Ghost Season 3 even got started, there was the Season 3 teaser, where at the end we heard Tariq say, "I think we just started a war." Who would have known we would have been waiting all the way until the final seconds of Season 3 to actually see that clip? And now the war is on, and at this point it is basically Tariq and Brayden versus Kane and Noma. Because Drew and Diana are just making up a story to get Kane riled up, saying Tariq was the shooter, even though they are the ones who orchestrated the whole hit. Then you got Noma's right-hand man Obi, who has already shown his allegiance to Tariq by giving Brayden the drop about Noma's plan after Tariq got his green card. Yet I don't see why he didn't notify Tariq of the plan also. Then there's Effie. She was showing up busting back at the warehouse, but I don't think she's really going to be all in for a war. But with that being said, Noma has plenty of soldiers, and Kane and Drew are enough of a threat alone. So I made a video a couple days ago that would be best for Tariq and Brayden to get out of town for a minute, lay low, and regroup. There's no sense in fighting a war you can't win just for honor's sake. Retreat and wait until the odds turn back in your favor. But with that being said, they can't leave town until they secure their families. Tasha, Yaz, and Estelle will almost guarantee be moved anyway after those marshals were killed by Tommy Egan. But it is Brayden who really needs to worry about his family because they are the ones who are exposed. Weston Holdings was just exposed as a Ponzi scheme, and everything seems to be going downhill for the Westons. Then there's the press. Nicole Weston said she can't even walk down the street without being heckled by news reporters. There is also the cops. They have already shown up to the Weston's household to bring Robert in for questioning. And even though Brayden killed Lucas and forged a suicide note taking all responsibility, they still may have more questions, especially about Lucas's strange death. I don't know for sure, but an autopsy report should be able to show that Lucas was thrown off the roof and that he didn't jump, especially how he hit the back of his head first. Most importantly, they are in serious danger from the war that Brayden just got in the middle of. At the beginning of Season 3, when Obi gave the crew a production incentive, he flashed a picture of Robert and Nicole Weston and said if they mess up, Richie's richest parents will get a bullet. The other picture shown was Diana and Estelle. Obviously, Diana is with Noma now, and Estelle is in Witsec with Tasha. So Brayden's parents will be Noma's first target. The problem is, Brayden kinda has to tell them to leave town because of the Ponzi scheme. I don't know if he wants to tell them about how much trouble he is in, but again, he might have no choice if he wants to save his family. If he doesn't tell them the truth, they may not take the threat serious. At the same time, keep in mind that Kane and Monet have already been to the Weston household to start collecting. Kane roughed up Robert and pulled a gun on Trace. This should be enough to send the message that the Westons need to leave town. As rich as the Westons are, they had no security guard, no gate to their house. I don't even think they live in a gated community, because Monet and Kane just walked right up into their house with no problem, no doorman to let them know in advance that they have visitors or anything. They wouldn't have been able just to walk into the St. Patrick penthouse like that though. But since this took place, Monet's been shot and injured, and Brayden also shot at Kane. I believe he shot the gun out of Kane's hand to stop him from shooting Tariq. So Season 4, Kane is going to be on the warpath. Keep in mind he has already kidnapped Brayden and Trace the first time they met in Season 1. This could definitely be a move he makes to get Brayden and Tariq if they don't get the Westons out of town. In the 4th Season 1 finale, Claudia Flynn and the Irish Horsemen did the same thing by kidnapping JP so that everyone who wanted Tommy dead could go get him. And right now, Tariq and Brayden almost find themselves even in a worse situation. At least Diamond still had partial control over CBI. But at the time being, Tariq and Brayden really don't have any other allies. They do have Obi, but he will not openly support them. They would have to come up with a foolproof plan before Obi would betray Noma. This is a similar situation to how Ghost and Tommy defeated Milan. But again, it's different at the same time. Milan was part of a bigger organization, the Serbian Mafia, while Noma is an enigma and nobody knows anything about her. Also, when Ghost and Tommy overthrew Milan, they had allies. Dre was rocking with them at the time, and he brought in 2-Bit, Spanky, and their crew. They even had Tasha to come through with the assist. Tariq and Braden, however, are completely isolated. One interesting dynamic to keep in mind is that Diana Tejada and Becca Weston are roommates at Stansfield. When they met, they had the interesting conversation. Becca told Diana she won't tell her parents she's rooming with a Tejada, and Diana said she won't tell hers that she's staying with a Weston. When Braden made the initial suggestion to get out of town, his mom was all for it, but Becca showed no interest. She was still worried about Lucas's funeral. Not to mention leaving town right now would mean she would receive an incomplete for the current term at Stansfield. So I can see a situation playing out where the Westons leave town, but Becca says she's staying at school and she will be fine there. Then Diana will have the hard choice to make whether to tell Kane she is roommates with Becca Weston or not. Diana and Becca have actually become friends and have even been seen partying together. At the same time, Diana knows she needs to dead Tariq to keep her and Drew's secret covered up. Now, I don't believe that they made Diana and Becca roommates for no reason. And ironically, they are staying in the same room where Kane already kidnapped Braden and Trace. At the beginning of Season 3, Robert told Braden if he messes up again, he will disown him and cut him off completely. But now there's nothing to even be cut off from. And I'm also interested to see exactly how far the Westons are going to fall. I'm sure that Weston Holdings was a corporation, so they shouldn't be able to touch the Westons' personal assets. But at the same time, I don't know the laws concerning a Ponzi scheme. They may lose their personal assets as restitution, but like I said, I'm not sure about the laws. I know the Westons were supposed to be extremely wealthy on Simon Stern's level because he told Tate that he built half of the Stansfield campus and that the Westons built the other half. I know that Simon Stern plays the game at a much higher level than the Westons. I don't know how Simon Stern built his wealth, but I know Robert and Lucas Weston inherited Weston Holdings from their dad. So Braden's grandfather was more likely on Stern's level. With that being said, I wouldn't be surprised to see Simon Stern return in Season 4, offering to help the Westons as a way to put them under his thumb. And there you have it, why the Westons need to leave New York. Do you think that the Westons family will survive? Or will Kane or Noma's soldiers get to them first? Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.